Hello everyone. Welcome to the class of E-Plan and Electrical Control Technology. In last class, I have introduced the drawing methods and steps of the main circuit and control circuit of the motor start-stop control system. Since the start-stop control circuit of a single motor is relatively simple, in order to facilitate clear viewing of the drawing, we draw the main circuit and the control circuit together. However, under normal circumstances, the main circuit and control circuit are drawn separately. The main purpose is to distinguish between the primary and the lesser one so as to facilitate drawing and viewing, which is also the need of engineering. In this chapter, we will take the schematic diagram of motor forward and reverse rotation control as an example to draw the main circuit and control circuit for power distribution respectively with E-Plan software. As we know, power distribution is to distribute electric energy to each piece of equipment as needed, while completing relevant functions such as protection, control, and monitoring. Therefore, according to the drawing principle, we first draw a schematic diagram of power distribution. In E-Plan software, the entry or starting position of the power supply is generally expressed by potential connection point. A potential connection point is used to define a potential for which the type of potential can be defined: L, N, PE, etc. It looks like a terminal, but it is not an actual device. If a display color is set for the potential, the equipotential connections are shown in the same color throughout the project. The most common case is to set a green dotted line display for the PE potential connection point. One purpose of defining potential connection points is to facilitate drawing interpretation, especially when there are different potentials, such as 380 volts, 220 volts, and 24 volts in the project, and find short circuits, etc. Another purpose is to facilitate the numbering of wires according to potential types. Okay, once we know how to introduce the power supply, we can draw a schematic diagram of the power distribution. The specific operation steps are as follows.
First, we need to create an engineering project named Schematic Diagram of Motor Forward and Reverse Rotation. Then create a page described as Power Distribution and click OK. Insert the power supply in the drawing page. Click Insert Potential Connection Point in the menu bar. Place it at the lower left of the drawing area, named L1, and insert L2 and L3 continuously. Provide the main power supply for the circuit.
So, what is a breakpoint? When drawing the schematic diagram, if there is insufficient space in the current drawing area, and it is necessary to continue drawing on other pages, and there is a continuous information flow between these two pages, breakpoints can be used to transmit this information flow. So, the breakpoints occur in pairs. The paired breakpoints are composed of a source breakpoint and a target breakpoint, with the first breakpoint pointing to the second one, the second pointing to the third, and so on. In general, the source and target are on the same page, and there is no need to use breakpoints. Generally, breakpoints are used across pages. Typically, you can place the source of a breakpoint in the right half of the drawing page, and the target breakpoint in the left half of subsequent drawings. Let's insert a breakpoint in the drawing.
Click the breakpoint symbol in the connection symbol toolbar on the right. Insert it into the appropriate position in the drawing area, named L1, L2, and L3 to supply power to the main circuit.
Do you know what is the connection point code in E-plan? Points that can be connected on a symbol are called connection points. For example, a single-pole circuit breaker has 2 connection points, while a 3-pole circuit breaker has 6. Each connection point has a number, which is often called the component pin number, and is called connection point code in E-plan. The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 we see now is the connection point code of the level 3 circuit breaker. In the component properties of the circuit breaker, the connection point code can be modified according to requirements. If no modification is required, the default value is used. Next, let's continue the drawing operation.
Next, insert a symbol of level 3 circuit breaker above the potential point. Find the level 3 circuit breaker under safety equipment and place it above the potential point. At this time, a dialog box for component properties will pop up. In the column of Display Device Identifier, under the dialog box of Circuit Breaker, the symbol library has its own component name, -F1. If no modification is required, it can be defaulted. The symbol name can also be changed to QF1 as required to complete the naming of symbol. Finally, the circuit breaker and transformer symbols are inserted. Find the circuit breaker symbol in the symbol library. Insert it into an appropriate position in the drawing area and name it as QF2. Continue to insert the transformer symbol under the circuit breaker and place it right below the circuit breaker with the default name of T1. Convert 380-volt AC into 220-volt AC to supply power for the control circuit. Insert breakpoint symbols below the transformer symbol, which are named AC 220 volts and AC 0 volts, respectively. To convert 380-volt AC into 220-volt AC for power supply of control circuit. Next, supplement the wires. Okay, that's the whole drawing process of power distribution graph.
In this lesson, we have selected the typical case of motor forward and reverse rotation control to introduce the methods and steps of drawing its power distribution graph with E-plan. The focus of this lesson is to master the knowledge points of E-plan about potential connection point and breakpoint through drawing. Get familiar with the drawing environment and quickly master the drawing methods. Well, that's all for today. See you next time.